All right, so I'm gonna be talking for the next half hour or so please try to stay awake for me. Yeah, cool. All right, let's begin. I want you all to raise your hand if you like ice cream. Okay? Raise your hand if you're a morning person. A night person? A dog person? A cat person? Both. Cool. Okay, now I want you to put your arms down and I want you to raise your hand this time if you think you are a leader. All right, I like this number. All right, so for those of you who didn't raise their hands, I'm gonna prove you all wrong, okay? In case you forgot, my name is Angel and today I'll be talking about the 5 practices of exemplary leaders and how you can become an effective student leader. This presentation is for all of you. It's for Mitchell kids, Tate kids, McNeely kids, and Canby kids. I'll be talking about leadership, respect, trust, honesty, and most importantly, what your shirts actually say and what they mean. Let's begin. All right, so first of all, I'm gonna play a really short video, and while you're watching the video, I want you to think about who is a leader? What does a leader do? And how do they do it? Okay, I want you to think about that as you watch the video, and keep those questions in mind.
सर आपके लिए उस पार कार का इंतजाम किया है सर। ये चल चल।
कुछ करो ना।
मेहमान जाके क्या उखाड़ा?
Hello? So I want you to keep that video in mind for our discussion later. Okay, so when I say go for it, I want you to turn to your neighbor and answer and talk about these 3 questions. What is your definition of leadership? Do you think leaders are born or made? And what are 2 behaviors that leaders demonstrate? I want you to talk to your partner and also talk to your group. If you look at your table, you have pieces of paper with a marker on them, and I want you to write all of your ideas down and the answers to these 3 questions. Okay, you can also keep the video in mind and use it as an example to help answer these questions. Go for it. So let's share them. I'll go around and whoever volunteers, you can share your answers. So let's start off with the first question. What is your definition of leadership? Who would like to answer? Yes. What's your name and what school do you go to?
My name is Eva and I go to Mitchell.
Awesome. So what's your definition of leadership?
Leadership is when a person takes lead and takes a group of people and makes them achieve a goal.
Awesome, yeah, achieve a goal. Group work and achieving a goal, that's really important. Can I get another definition of leadership? Yes, what's your name and what school do you go to?
My name is Farah and I go to Tate. And someone who speaks up and is confident.
Someone who speaks up and is confident, that's really important. Next question, do you think leaders are born or made? What's your name and what school do you go to?
My name is Keely, I go to Mitchell. I think that leaders are made
Okay, why?
because you're not just like born as a leader, it takes time to develop the skills.
That's really true, that's so important. All right, third question. What are 2 behaviors that leaders demonstrate? I see you. Name and what school do you go to?
McKelly and from Mitchell. Maybe confident.
Confidence and capital. Very good. Can I get another volunteer? Yes, over there. What's your name and what school do you go to?
Kira. I think that leaders need to have patience and be brave.
Patience and bravery. Very important. One last person. I choose you. What's your name and what school do you go to?
My name is Myra and I go to McNeely. And I think leaders should be motivational and they like motivate the people around them to do better. And I think they should also be inspiring as well. And people look up to them for being responsible and smart and things like that.
Those are some really good explanations. Motivational and inspirational. Now actually I want to ask, have one more volunteer and I want a high school student to volunteer to answer the 3rd question. Any high school student volunteer? I saw a hand over here. Hello, what's your name and what school do you go to?
I'm Alexis, I go to Cabby, but I went to Mitchell, so go far!
What are 2 behaviors that leaders demonstrate?
Leaders should be confident, but also learn from their mistakes.
Very important. Thank you, Alexis. All right, let's have a round of applause for everyone who volunteered. Very brave soul. Okay. All right, so you may have seen this poster in your hallways or in your classrooms. Leadership is so important that the Board of Education adopted it into their vision in their Policy 100, Vision, Missions, and Values. It says that the Richmond School District is the best place to learn and lead. So remember at the beginning of the presentation when I asked you guys to raise your hands if you're a leader and some of you didn't? Do you remember that? Yeah? No? Yes? Well, it turns out that research shows that anyone can be a leader. Anyone. Anyone in this table group, in that table group, in this gym, in this school, literally on planet Earth, anyone, everyone has the potential to be a leader. All right, anyone can be a leader. Again, research shows that leadership is an observable and learnable set of practices. What that means is you learn it, okay? It's not something that you just have, that you're born to have, okay? So for example, if you put your mind to it and you see someone, you observe someone being a leader and what they do, and then you try to practice that yourself, that makes you a leader. For example, do you remember that boy, that small boy in the video earlier? That kid, even though he was small, he managed to lead everyone else around him because he took initiative. He took the first step in solving the problem. Even though he was small, his little arms, he couldn't push it, he inspired everyone else around him to help him because he was the first one to make that change. Okay, so that's an observable leadership practice. So you observe that the next time you encounter a problem, you can practice that by being the first person to take that first step in solving the problem. You don't have to solve the whole problem yourself, but if you take initiative, then that makes you a leader. Does that make sense so far? All right. Again, leadership development is self-development. As you continue to practice and improve on your leadership, that also translates to you improving yourself as a person. And lastly, leaders are learners. Raise your hand if you're perfect. Raise your hand if you're not perfect. Everyone should be raising their hand. There's nobody on planet Earth that knows everything, okay? I don't know everything, your table leaders don't know everything, teachers, principals, we don't know everything, okay? So there's always room to learn. Okay, learning means accepting your mistakes and growing from them. Understanding your mistakes so that in the future, you're growing by not making those mistakes in the future. Does that make sense? All right. Oh wait, that thing looks familiar. Where have I seen it before? Oh my goodness, I see those 5 squares. It's on my shirt. It's on all of your shirts too. Wow, what a coincidence. So I'm going to be talking about the 5 practices of a leader. Okay, so number 1, leaders are at their best when they model the way. Sure, you have titles. Okay, anyone can be named principal, coach, captain, leader, whatever. Okay, sure, you might be the volleyball coach of your team, but that doesn't mean anything if you don't do anything. Okay, your actions are louder than words. So say I'm your basketball coach. Okay, and I tell you to arrive at practice tomorrow bright and early, and you do so, but then I come strolling in 15 minutes late. Do you think that's fair? No or yes? No, okay, you're probably not gonna take me seriously. That's why it's so important to DWYSYWD. Do what you say you will do, okay? Great leaders understand that they must be models of the behavior that they expect. Do what you say you will do. If I tell you to do something, then I should expect myself to do it as well, okay? I'm not just gonna boss you around and not do things myself because that's not fair, right? Another way to say this is to lead by example. You show your example by doing it yourself so that you inspire those around you to do it with you. Again, like that boy in the video, okay? And doing that makes you a credible leader. You're an honest, true leader. And being honest is inspiring. It inspires others to be honest as well. Speaking of inspiring, leaders are at their best when they inspire a shared vision. Leaders have great visions, they imagine exciting possibilities, and they have great dreams. Right? It's like when an architect draws the blueprint of their dream house, or an engineer builds a prototype of like a machine. Okay, you want to have that great big vision. All those big social movements, big events, they start by someone having that vision in their heads beforehand. And what's equally important as having a vision is to share your vision. Because if you're going to keep your vision to yourself, that's not really going to do anything, right? You want to share your vision with others so that you inspire others to have that same vision, so that when everyone else around you has that same vision, that's when change happens, when everyone gets involved. Are you guys with me so far? All right. In doing so, it brings people together. teamwork. Sharing a vision, you bring people together, like that image right there. So how do you have a vision, you might ask? Well, you can have a vision by challenging the process. Great leaders step into the unknown and they think outside the box. Okay, they think what's different. Okay, picture this. You're in the early 1900s and at the time planes didn't exist. There were only like cars and bikes and horses. Okay, and say that you were like, what if humans could fly? What if we could build something that would make us fly? The next person would be like, that's crazy, what are you talking about, right? Humans can't fly, but joke's on them because we have planes now and we can fly. Okay, that person who thought outside the box was able to make great change. You've got to think outside the box, you know. Some people might think, oh, that's impossible, that's crazy. But if you go through with it, and you believe in it, and you try to make that change respectfully, you can do it. Okay? A way to challenge the process is to be curious and ask questions. Don't just accept everything as they are. Oh, you're gonna tell me to go there? Okay, I'll just go there. Oh, you're gonna tell me to do this? I'll just do this. No, you wanna ask questions. You wanna say, why are we doing this? How are we doing this? And what for? Okay, you always wanna ask questions so you have a better understanding of what's happening. Does that make sense? Ask questions. Okay. And also, when you challenge the process, nothing's gonna be perfect, like I said. So you wanna learn from your mistakes so that in the future your vision would be improved and it would actually be more realistic. Okay. Another way that leaders are at their best is when they enable others to act. Okay? Nothing great ever happened when you're doing things solo. Great changes happen when you're in a team. That's why teamwork and collaboration is so important. Working with others. And you trust each other. It's like when we're in a group project together, you're trusting me to do my work, and I'm trusting you to do your work before the due date, right? We're trusting each other. It's like how this girl is trusting this girl to hold her up and not fall, right? And by trusting each other, by encouraging each other, you're believing in each other, which is really important. You always want to believe in each other. Yeah. Lastly, leaders are at their best when they encourage the heart. Okay, leadership isn't all about doing this, we're done. Leadership is also about celebrating your accomplishments, praising others for what we've done right. You know, say, oh my God, good job, we just did it. An example of this would be your amazing race. Okay, it took great teamwork and trust in each other to complete the whole thing. So you should all be proud of yourselves for that, and that's celebrating. Let's give ourselves a round of applause for that. And by celebrating our accomplishments, we're connecting our actions with our values, what we believe in. Okay, another example of encouraging the heart is, say you're running in a relay race at the Mineral Track and Field. You're getting pretty tired, but then you see your classmates on the sidelines cheering you on. Ooh, and so you feel motivated. You're like, oh, I should keep on going, right? So it motivates you and it also strengthens your relationship with them because your classmates believed in you, right? You strengthen your relationship because you believe in each other. This all connects together, all 5 of these practices. All right, so now I want everyone to put your hands out like this. And I want you to hug yourself. Really tightly, really tightly. And I want you to all answer my questions, okay? And don't let go, okay? Keep it like this, okay? So I'm gonna ask a question, and you all are gonna answer together, okay? What does the M in Mickey stand for? Model the way. What does the I stand for? Sorry, what? Inspire. I can't hear you. Change. What does the C stand for?
Challenge.
Challenge the what?
Challenge the process.
What was it?
Challenge the process.
Okay, I think I heard you. Challenge process. Okay, what does the first E stand for?
Enable others to act.
Oh, what was that? What was that?
Enable others to act.
One more time.
Enable others to act.
Okay, and the last E.
Encourage
does the I stand for?
Minute.
And lastly, what does the M stand for? Alright, awesome. Seems like you guys know your stuff. Okay, moving on. So I've talked about how you can become a leader. I've talked about those 5 practices. Now we're going to talk about what you personally can do. Okay? To inspire a change, to model the way, to do all that, you can create a social action project. A social action project is doing a project together as a team to create a positive impact on your community. So an example of this would be this Be For She conference. You know, our high school club was like, what can we do to create a positive change? Let's have a conference for grade 7 girls and talk about leadership and teamwork. Okay, that would create a positive change. Another example could be doing a food bank, collecting blankets to donate to the homeless, or things as simple as putting up inspirational quotes around your school hallways, like the pink ones over there, just putting it up in your hallways and making someone smile. Okay, you gotta remember that you have to be realistic. When you have a social action project, that doesn't mean you're gonna do something really extraordinary and it's gonna change the world, okay? You can do things as small as just doing posters, but it still creates big change. Does that make sense? Okay. So now, again, what can you do? When I say go, I want McNeely over here, Mitchell over here, and Tate back there. And I want you to go into your school groups, grab a chair, and plan what your school can do to, as a social action project. You guys have around 10 minutes to do so. When I say go, don't get up yet. Don't get up yet. Remember, try not to move your chairs around. Okay, don't bring that chair over there. We want the chairs to stay where they are in their position. Nod your heads if that makes sense. Okay, and when you guys are in your school groups, get one person to come up, grab a piece of paper and a couple of markers to brainstorm. Go. 2, 1. And a hush fell over the crowd. I want a bigger, more aggressive hush. And a hush fell over the crowd. Great. Can I get you, or you, yeah, just to click the next slide, thank you. Okay, so hopefully you guys did some brainstorming and came up with a couple of ideas to do, because when you go back to your schools, you will be actually planning this project, doing this project by the end of the school year. Does that make sense? So you yourselves will make a social action project to create that change. So to basically summarize my presentation and to emphasize a few key points, let's talk about how to practice leadership. Number 1, experience. You learn through trial and error. I talked about making mistakes, making lots of mistakes, but it's important to learn from your mistakes and you try again, okay? You don't give up, okay? I remember one of you guys talked about how leadership is courageous. Okay, you have the courage to keep on trying no matter how many times you fail, okay? Number 2, example. What was those 3 words? Something, something, example. Does anyone remember? First word starts with an L. Yell it out.
Lead by example.
Lead by example, yes. Lead by example, right? You learn by observing others and you lead by doing what you say you will do. Doing what you say you will do. You don't want to boss people around. You don't want to be a hypocrite. Just do what you say you will do. Easy as that. And last of all, education. You learn through education. You want to, again, I talked about leaders are learners. Okay? There's never a point where you stop learning. Okay? So you have to be open-minded. Okay? Be open to conversations. And be open to asking questions. So you can develop yourself and understand things more better. Any questions? A lot of you look like Dave. Okay. I want you guys to hug yourselves again. Don't look. I I see you guys looking? Okay, really loudly, enthusiastically, I want you to say, what does the M stand for? I can't hear it. Not everyone's saying. What does it stand for?
Model away.
What does it stand for?
Model away.
Thank you. What does the I stand for? What was it?
Inspire the shared vision.
Inspire what?
Shared vision.
Inspire a change. Say it with me. Inspire a change. Say it. Inspire a change. Number C. What does the letter C stand for? Challenge the process. Say it. Challenge the process. What does the E stand for?
Enable others to act.
Yes, enable others to act. And what does the last E stand for?
Encourage the heart.
Come on, let's end it off with a bang. What does the E stand for?
Encourage the heart.
If you want the chance to win a gift card, say it with me. Encourage the heart. No, that's what I want. One more time.
Encourage the heart.
Thank you. Okay, so that wraps. That's the end of the Mickey presentation.